Hello, everyone, and good morning. Today is Sunday, June 8th, 2025, at 09:51. And today we have our day one outlook video, day one outlook to look at today. So remember yesterday we had the moderate risk, right? Whoops. So that evidently is today. We have the moderate risk that encompasses parts of Texas and Oklahoma. This is the derecho area. We have the enhanced risk for parts of Texas and Oklahoma, as well as going into a little bit of Arkansas and just a teeny bit of Louisiana there. A slight risk, we have it extending from Texas through Louisiana, Arkansas, Oklahoma, Kansas, up into Missouri, over into Illinois, and then back through Colorado and a little bit of New Mexico having a slight. We do also have a slight risk that encompasses parts of Alabama, Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, Virginia, DC, and it looks like that's it. Yeah, Delaware's on the marginal. So now we go. Speaking of marginal, now we go to the marginal. So we have Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Florida, going up into Delaware, New Jersey, Maryland, Pennsylvania, New York. Excuse me. New York does not have anything here really. So what state am I thinking? Virginia, West Virginia, a little bit of Ohio, North Carolina, South Carolina, Tennessee, and then back through, it looks like a little bit of Arkansas, Missouri, Kentucky, Illinois, Indiana, Wisconsin, Iowa, Missouri, back through Missouri, Kansas, then parts of Colorado and New Mexico do have a marginal. So, yeah, we do have a lot of areas under these risks today. So, again, we have Dallas, Fort Worth, Arlington, Plano, and Garland under the moderate. Oklahoma City, Lubbock, Amarillo, Abilene, and Norman under the enhanced. Washington, D.C., Kansas City, Missouri, Virginia Beach, Tulsa, and Wichita under the slight. And Chicago, Philadelphia, Jacksonville, Memphis, and Baltimore having a marginal. So anyway, today let's go ahead and deep dive and see what we've got for today. Today, again, we have the 5% tornado threat for, that's actually a pretty large one there, too, for parts of Texas and Oklahoma. And we do have the another 5% out here. That is for areas in Virginia, and it looks like D.C. is just outside of it. We do also have a 2% that encompasses parts of Texas, Louisiana, Arkansas, Oklahoma, parts of Kansas, Missouri, up into Illinois, and back over into, looks like New Mexico. So yes, we do have that area, and 2% over here in the East Coast is for parts of North Carolina, Virginia, D.C., and it looks like a little bit of Delaware, just a tiny little bit. So maybe the eastern shore of Maryland. So we could be, So we have Dallas, Fort Worth, Oklahoma City, Arlington, and Plano under the 5%, and Baltimore, Washington, D.C., Kansas City, Virginia Beach, and Tulsa under the 2%. So for the 5%, we could see a brief EF1 tornado possible. And then for the 2%, we could see a brief EF0, maybe an EF1 possible. So please be mindful that could be possible depending on where you are today. Now, this is the severe threat that we've got going on today. This is the main threat. That's why the moderate risk is out, because we have a 45% wind hatched area for parts of Texas and Oklahoma. We have the 30% hatch for parts of Texas and Oklahoma, as well as just a teeny little bit of Arkansas and just a tiny little bit of Louisiana. We have a small 15% area in parts of Texas and just a teeny bit of New Mexico. But for everybody else, basically, we have a 15% normal. That's for parts of Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Arkansas, Oklahoma, Kansas, Missouri, Illinois, over to New Mexico, and a little bit of Colorado. We do have this one over here for parts of Alabama, Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, Virginia, D.C., and it looks like the eastern shore of Maryland. We do have a 5% that extends from Texas through Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Florida, Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, Virginia, Kentucky, West Virginia, Maryland, Pennsylvania, Delaware, New Jersey, a little bit of Ohio, back through Arkansas, Tennessee, Arkansas. Then Missouri. I don't know why I'm mixing up my states today. Parts of Kentucky, Illinois, Indiana, Wisconsin, Iowa, back through Missouri, Kansas, and Colorado, and parts of New Mexico do have the 5%. So, again, there went the reset. I just saw it. So, we have Dallas, Fort Worth, Oklahoma City, Arlington, and Plano under the significant severe. Dallas, Fort Worth, Arlington, Plano, and Garland under the 45% hatched. Oklahoma City, Lubbock, Amarillo, Abilene, and Norman under the 30% hatched. Washington, D.C., Kansas City, Missouri, Virginia Beach, Tulsa, and Wichita under the 15%. And Chicago, Philadelphia, Jacksonville, Memphis, and Baltimore under the 5%. So, again, for the 45% hatched area, we could see 80 to 100 mile per hour wind gusts possible. So again, I predict that derecho possible today. 35% hatched. We could see 80 to 90 mile per hour wind gusts possible. So please be mindful that could be possible. That little 15% area hatched, we could see 60 to 80 miles per hour possible. 15% normal, we could see 60 to 75 miles per hour possible. And for the 5%, we could see 60 to 70 mile per hour wind gusts possible. So depending on where you are, please be ready to get to shelter because of this wind. So going into the hail risk for today, we've got a 30% for parts of Texas and Oklahoma. We have a 30% hatched, we have one small 15% hatched for areas in deep South Texas, it looks like. Or not maybe deep South Texas, but we did have it in southern Texas. We have another 15% hatched, which is a little bit bigger for parts of Texas, going into a little bit of New Mexico, and we got it going through Oklahoma, Kansas, and Missouri. Normal 15% we've got extending from Texas through Louisiana, Arkansas, Oklahoma, Missouri, into Illinois, back through a little bit of Kansas, New Mexico, and Colorado. We also have this small 15% normal that's for areas in Virginia. We also have this 5% that extends from Texas through Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Florida, Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, Virginia, and it looks like D.C. and Maryland have that, as well as parts of Arkansas, Missouri, Illinois, Wisconsin, Iowa, back through Missouri, Kansas, Colorado, and into New Mexico. We do have the area having a 5%. So, we have Dallas, Fort Worth, Oklahoma City, Tulsa, and Arlington under the significant severe. We have Dallas, Fort Worth, Oklahoma City, Arlington, and Plano having the 30% hatched. Kansas City, Missouri, Virginia Beach, Tulsa, Wichita, and Norfolk under the 15%. And Chicago, Charlotte, Denver, Washington, D.C., and Atlanta under the 5%. So for the 30% hatched area, we could see damaging hail of at least 2 to 4 inch diameter hail possible. For the 15% hatched, we could see 1 to 3.5 inch diameter hail possible. For the 15% normal, we could see 1 to 3 inch diameter hail possible. And for the 5%, we could see 1 to 2 inch diameter hail possible. So please be mindful, wherever you may be today, there is a hail threat somewhere. Going into the summary for today, it says, a severe weather outbreak is possible across the southern plains today. A few tornadoes, destructive wind gusts of 80 to 100 miles per hour, and giant hail up to, they say 5 inches in diameter are likely. So, strong gusts and perhaps a couple of tornadoes are also possible across portions of the East Coast. So there you have it. Again, the possible derecho today is what I'm predicting. There's today's hail risk. There's today's wind risk. There's today's tornado risk. And And there's today's Day 1 Outlook. So I do really hope that you stay weather aware and stay safe today. Please make sure you have multiple ways of getting warned. That would be from your NOAA weather radio, your cell phone, your television outlets, your internet source, whatever it is you use. Excuse me. Make sure you keep an eye on the sky today, and make sure you heed all warnings. And make sure you have a way of getting woken up in case these storms do. There's a second reset. Wow. Make sure you have a way of getting woken up to any alerts that may be issued in case you do happen to go to bed before the storms hit your area. Make sure you have a way of getting woken up, and I do recommend sleeping in your safe place so you would not have to move even if you do get under a warning. Anyway, that's it for me right now. We will be back later for the Day 2 Outlook. But anyway, in the meantime, hope you stay weather aware, stay safe, and take care.